Hey everyone, this is Sam, and today I'm going to show you guys one of, and if not the best armor in the game, and what kind of charms you can add to it to give yourself this perfect attack build that is aggressive and is dominant, but at the same time is very defensive. So it's a perfect two-way build. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please share and like, and if you would like to see more Tsushima tutorials, just make sure to subscribe. And if you want to catch up on the previous one, there's a playlist in the description of all the tutorials I've made on this game. So before I go into the details of what charms you need and what quests you have to do to get those charms, I just wanted to show you a short gameplay, like right here, on just how high your attack pace can be when you're using this build that I call the Furious Gosaku. Because you can see, not only am I taking apart the enemies very quickly, I'm also refueling resolve and health all at the same time, so I can just keep the pace up higher and higher. And the way I regenerate my resolve is dependent on how quickly I attack. So the faster I go, the more I can attack, and the more I attack, the faster I can go. So it's extremely effective and aggressive. So the first thing you're going to need is the Gosaku's armor. You're going to need it for the massive increase to health, the major increase to stagger damage, and also to defeat a staggered enemy, you can restore 20% health. So these are all huge because you're going to complement it with these charms. The first one you're going to get is the Charm of Bludgeoning. You're going to get both of them, which moderate increase to your stagger damage. So pretty much you're going to one-hit stagger everybody. Alright? And then you're going to further complement that by getting the Charm of Broken Barriers. Both of them. What this does is, if you break an enemy's defense, it grants you 15% resolve. So because of your high stagger damage, pretty much when you one-hit stagger someone, you get 30 resolve back. But we're going to add to that with a Charm of Resolve level 2, which gives us a 25 increase to resolve, which means every stagger we do is pretty much a 60% resolve gain. And at the end, the 6th charm, that is actually a flex. You can choose whatever you want to do, offensive or defensive. I like a little bit of defense, so I put the Charm of Resistance 2 on there. And yes, you don't need a single gold charm for this build, and it's super good. Now, in terms of your ghost weapons, you're going to use a lot of kunai. So make sure you upgrade the kunai all the way up to level 3. And your stances, make sure you at least get this high increased stagger damage point for every stance. So you see the wind stance there, the water stance, the moon stance, every stance. Aim to get the stagger damage bonus first above all else, so you can one-hit stagger most things in the game. So those are how you want to invest the points. And make sure for the mythic techniques, you're going to get the Heavenly Strike. Make sure you get the Heavenly Strike for sure. And in terms of how you can get everything you need. So you must finish Act 1 first to finish this build. You can't do this build without finishing Act 1 because you're going to complete the Unbreakable Gosaku quest, which requires Act 1 to be done. And then you're going to do the rest of these quests for the exact charm. So you're going to do the River Children for one of the Charm of Bludgeoning. And then the second one you can get from doing the quest, the Thief. And in terms of the Charm of Broken Barriers, you can get the first one from the quest Honor Buried Deep. And also the Delicate Art of Negotiation is a Kenji Tale 3. So most of these are in Act 2. That's why this is pretty much an Act 2 build. Charm of Resolve level 2 you can get from the Fu, which is also in Act 2. And to end it all off, you can get the Charm of Resistance level 2, which is also an Act 2 build. So if you're interested in an Act 1 build, you can check out the tutorial on my playlist. There's an Act 1 build there, but this one you need until Act 2. So let's see how we do this. So the biggest thing about this build is you must use the correct stance because you're aiming to stagger. So once you get the stance correct, you can see I did only 2 hits there in the moon stance to stagger this enemy, and I got 60% resolve back. So a stagger defeat also at the same time, after I stagger him, I get 20% HP if I finish him off. I stagger someone, I am getting 60% resolve back with this build. And majority of the time it's going to be 1 hit. Or at maximum 2 hits. Now, but the issue is once I stagger them, this build is slow to finish the enemy. But that doesn't really matter because as I stagger multiple people, I keep getting tons of resolve back. So I can just stagger someone and finish off my enemy with a Heavenly Strike. Because once someone is staggered, a Heavenly Strike instantly defeats them. So that's the move for this. So you want to quickly stagger your enemy with this build. And then you want to use a Heavenly Strike to finish them off right away. Maximum 3 hits and the process is done. So, and if you're facing archers, make sure you use the moon stance. And if you're wondering why, this is because the moon stance is going to help you stagger your archer enemy without defeating them, because these guys are kind of squishy. But the first two heavy attacks in moon stance is 2 kicks, so it doesn't really hurt them enough, but it breaks their defense until you get the resolve. Now, also for the ghost weapons, you can use kunai for the stagger and the defeats. So you can see here, I did the kunai, and then the second kunai hits that guy from very far away, who I staggered previously. So as he went down, you can see I got my resolve and health back. But this first guy that I'm attacking right now, right in front of me, he's also stagger broken by the kunai. So when I finish him off, I get the resolve and the health back. So pretty much I threw 1 kunai and got stagger kills and health and resolve back all at once. So here, 40% health back and also got 1 resolve point. Just one thing though, you actually can't spam Heavenly Strike to gain resolve, even though the Heavenly Strike breaks the opponent's defense. It doesn't count. So you can see I do a Heavenly Strike here to break his defense, but it doesn't work. I don't gain the resolve back. So you must use heavy strikes to gain back resolve. That's just the way the game is, unavoidable. So don't spam Heavenly Strike to try to gain resolve. Now, this build, the Furious Gosaku, but probably the best thing is, obviously, if you add in a Heavenly Strike, you'll finish most enemies in 1 or 2 hits, maximum 3. But the thing is, you're finishing people off so quickly, but you're getting resolve back all the time, so you can use more and more Heavenly Strikes. What it does is, it really fills up your ghost meter very quickly. Obviously, you can choose not to finish the enemy off of a, Heavenly Strike. That still only takes maybe 3 more hits. But when it's a one-on-one situation, Heavenly Strikes, kunais, you see how fast it fills up my ghost meter, you're ready to go. So even against a large crowd, you are pretty much, even without using much ghost weapons outside of the kunai, you're gonna feel very safe, because you're gonna just defeat enemies really quickly. And the fact that you're doing so many Heavenly Strikes to defeat your enemies, you're gonna put a lot of them in, they're gonna be terrified, they're gonna be feared, and when you strike someone down as they are terrified, you gain even more resolve back. So you can see right here, my resolve is never down, my health is also never down, because as I defeat staggered enemies, I get 20% health back. And here I'm just taking hits on purpose to show you guys the defense is also not bad. I took about 4 hits there, I didn't go down, but I still have plenty of resolve, so I can heal. And as I finish off the enemy, I get health and resolve back. You see, I didn't heal on that last part there. I beat those 2 guys and got like 40% health back, and like 1 point, and like almost 2 resolve points. So yes, initially it does feel kind of weird that you're not using any gold charms, even though some of the gold charms actually come with stagger bonuses, as you can see here, the charm of Shinetsukyo and the charm of Susanoo. But these staggered abilities don't trigger enough, and if you add more health to this build, it's also not useful. So you can see here, I'm using those I would consider inferior charms in this, because I'm not using the charm of broken barriers. And if you do that with this build and the Gosaku armor, you have a very serious problem. And you can see, even as I defeat the enemies, if I get health back, I get no resolve back unless, I beat someone. And that takes too long. And there's also not enough resolve bonuses. So you can see, even though I'm using the Gosaku armor with the wrong charms, it is very troubling. I am having a serious resolve crisis. Like, I have plenty of health, but I have less than 1 resolve right now, even though I defeated most of those enemies, because I had to use the resolve to heal. And because I don't have an abundant amount of resolve with, these inferior charms, I can't, use Heavenly Strike to finish off the enemy after I broke their defense. And when that happens, the Gosaku build is a little bit slow. It's very quick to break defense, but I would say is on average speed in terms of defeating the enemy after. So you need that Heavenly Strike. Now you can see I'm surviving here, but it's not good. I'm still stuck at 1 resolve, 1 and 1/4, and I'm just not defeating enemies as quickly as I want. I'm staggering them super fast, but that's not the best, right? Not only do I want to quickly stagger, I want to quickly get resolve back so I can quickly finish off the enemy and quickly get health back. So try that build, and if you would like what you see right now, this gameplay, this is my zombie samurai build. This is the second build I've done. If you want to do this one, I suggest you can also try this one. But this one is mostly driven by defense and a maniac playing style where you are actually trying to get hurt, because you get stronger by getting hurt. So this is completely different from the Furious Gosaku build that I just showed you today. In the Furious Gosaku, you want to hurt the enemy. This one, you want to get hurt yourself to get stronger on offense and defense, and then finish them off. Now, to each his own. Both builds actually work great on any level. I play on hard and even in duos, which I'll show you guys in a later video. So take your pick, but enjoy it and give me some feedback, and I look to hear again from you guys very soon.